Yo, what's good, Intellectual Savage family? I'm Marcus, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about something that's just been kind of making its rounds over the internet and over social media. And I think the key financial point was kind of missed, but it was a couple of issues. Of course, the key financial point, I think it kind of went over people's head, and people looked at something that really wasn't the main point of what Gabby Union was talking about. Before we dive in, hey, you at the channel The Debt Free Dad, where we're talking finances, attorney reactions, current events. I'm a licensed attorney, but I'm not your attorney, so go get your legal and financial advice from a professional, not DFD. I'm just giving y'all my opinions and takes and letting y'all know what we got going on over here with our finances and the finance game. Well, I don't want to keep it too long, but sometimes I just see things that just make me feel really bad for the future of society as a whole. And most of the times, I'm gonna tell you where things always go left. If you want to take a look online and see kind of how people are thinking. Most of the times, people who aren't making thoughtful thoughts about a particular topic go to the comments. Yo, when you go to the comments or anything, you see all kinds of foolishness in there. And so, unfortunately for me, I went to delve in the comments because I was like, is this really that big of an issue or am I tripping? And the comments were crazy. I'm gonna actually pull some of them up so we can go through them and talk about them. Hey, what's going on, sis? I appreciate you tuning in tonight, and it's gonna be interesting because hey, I don't know. I thought this was just a crazy ass topic. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. So Gabrielle Union was doing an interview. If y'all don't know who Gabrielle Union is, she's an actress. I think Gabby Union is in her 50s. I think she's like 8 years older than Dwayne Wade. But in any event, they're married. And so she was given an interview, and I'm actually going to play the interview. And she made two financial points. The real point that she was making about her finances was talking about her financial anxiety and her need to always work because she has fears of there not being enough to handle all her obligations. The financial anxiety was the actual meat and potatoes of what she's talking about. But in true form, everybody took a phrase that she said and went off and ran with it, where she said that in her relationship with Dwayne Wade, with her spouse, they pay all the bills 50 50. And so, okay, so she's 50. All right. I know D Wade not 50. D Wade, like maybe 41 or 42. I feel like D Wade is like in my age bracket, give or take a year, something like that. But she said in this household, we split the bills down the middle 50 50. Again, that wasn't the main point of the discussion, but that's where everybody kind of took it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip real quick just so we can see what she said and get a little bit about the context of what was said. And I'm sure y'all agree that that clearly wasn't the main point. The anxiety and the stress from her worrying about money was the main point, but people missed that. Yeah, 41. See, I knew D Wade was around. When he retired, I remember feeling some type of way because I felt old. I was like, damn. So yeah, D Wade's 41. So I said 8 years, 9 years older. Okay. So let me go and pull up the video so we can watch the clip of it. And hopefully, let me check. Sometimes the sound be kind of janky. I'm gonna start out by saying, if you look at that little picture of them in the corner, they look happy as hell. So splitting their bills 50 50 when both people are worth millions are definitely different from normal folks 50 50. So that's something that we got to put in the context. No, it didn't take me to the whole. Hold on. Oh, I guess I gotta watch it again on Instagram per the instructions. All right, let's see. No, I'm not logging in. All right.
That the work is coming, and as long as I keep knocking it out, there's going to be more, and there isn't this sort of sense of the rug is going could still be pulled out. Uh, I struggle with that still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like
oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I gonna have enough to hold everybody up? And it's coming. Like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that is like, at work, work, at work. Oh, you gonna sleep in? Hmm. Somebody might not eat. Huh? Oh, you gotta vote. And it's hard. It's hard to let that go. So I'm working on that.
All right, so I could close this out before we dive into these wild ass comments here. All right, so that was her point. The bigger point, in my opinion, just watching that clip, was her talking about the anxiety of never feeling like there's enough, even when she probably has enough. I looked, her net worth was like $40 million, so I'm sure she's good. But and trust me, I wasn't watching that whole interview. So the other part of it is we don't have a full knowledge of what each person's financial obligations is. We all know Dwayne Wade got like kids with another ex-wife and with an ex-wife, and I think he got a stripper kid too. And we don't know what her obligations are with her family. So, I don't know. She could be overstretched, leveraged financially or not. But everybody hung on to the point that she pays 50% of the bills. And I don't know. I was kind of shocked because I don't know. I looked at the comments and I thought to myself, people are stupid. People are really stupid. Like, whatever happened to the days of like two people meeting each other and they work collectively as a collective group, as a union, as one entity to work to a point where they got enough, then their head is above water, and now they ultimately get to a point where they're in excess, and now they can really truly reap the benefits of putting in that work and having that access. It's like nobody wants to. Me and my boy Wolverine were having a discussion on this earlier, and I said it's easier for everybody to go to a restaurant and buy a meal and complain about the way the chef cooked it, because people would rather do that than to actually prepare their own meal to their liking to have it how they want. So I wanted y'all to take a look at some of these comments, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about the breakdown of couples, money, what's right or wrong. And personally, whatever the hell people decide to do in their household is up to them. I don't really give a damn. I don't really give a damn because when they split 50-50 bills, there's a lot difference between the guy who work at Piggly Wiggly and the postal worker who's splitting bills 50-50. But I wanted to pull up some of these comments so we could take a look. Now, I wanted to find the most not the most interesting comments, but I went to see who made recent videos on this on YouTube. So I'm gonna pull up the comments from a couple of channels so we can take a look. Okay, so let me make sure I got this first one right. Okay, now this first channel, the channel name is Chloe. Hey, ladies, go to that channel at your own peril, at your own caution. This is where I got some of the comments from that we're going to take a look at. Now, the other channel is okay, Kev Hicks. I checked out his channel, and his take on it actually I was impressed. It wasn't an ignorant take, but I wanted to just look at and read some of the comments on this. I made the mistake in my marriage to blend our paychecks and pay bills. We both made about the same, but I always ended up with far more child care and homemaking and shopping duties. It never felt fair. I was always exhausted. Then it says, look at this next comment. Thanks for breaking this down. Too many men think 50-50 splits means splitting the bill straight down the middle at home. A woman must come home from work to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, putting too much burden on the woman. Now, I don't know. I think me personally, I think kids are a joint responsibility, except for when the kids are very young. When the kids are very young and, like one, and maybe the mother's had maternity leave and is staying at home, I think it tends to kind of shift. But I don't know. I can't speak for everybody because, I guess everybody's situation is different. But trust me, I I feel like I interact, and I think most guys that I know interact with their kids on an equal par with their spouse who they live in the house with. It, but some of these comments are just crazy. Oh, let me see. It was. Let me see. Let me see. Men should take care of the house, meaning rent, mortgage, light, water. Women take care of the main, meaning groceries, laundry, cleaning, supply. Woman make a house a home. We can't do all that paying bills. And it's weird because it was a lot of women who was giving pushback to being 50-50. I mean, I saw comments I I saw comments that said, "Well, I didn't sign up for 50-50. That's a roommate." Then another sister commented, "Well, if you got to pay half of the bills, you don't need to cook or clean or be intimate and have sex with your husband." And I was like, first of all, I was confused because I was like, that don't make any sense. But all the things she named are things that every woman got: cook, clean, sex. Like that, you went straight to your go-tos. And I mean, for grown-ass men, your go-tos weren't much because the woman who's married to the construction worker does all those things. So you withholding that is something that is a fair exchange of trade. I thought it was absolutely stupid, and I couldn't wrap my mind around the concept of, if you're a woman or a man, but if you're a woman in this example and you're by yourself, you have to pay 100% of everything, right? like you really have to pay 100% of everything. Your utilities, you have to do all of that stuff on your own. So what is the issue with it being a 50-50 split? Now, I understand that a 50-50 split doesn't necessarily isn't necessarily the best way to approach finances in some instances. And I'm gonna take a 50-50 split. I'm gonna take D Wade and Gabby Union out of it because it's different when you worth millions of dollars. I don't want to hear their problems. They happy as hell no matter what the split is. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% positive, if Gabrielle Union was like, "Oh, that movie flopped, honey, I don't got enough money to make the mortgage," you think D Wade gonna be like, "Well, shit, well, we just gonna go ahead and I guess they gonna foreclose on the house because I ain't paying the other half." Like, no, that's just not realistic. That's not how it works. I agree 50-50 works in some households, and in some household 50-50 could not be a real equitable or equal compromise. And I give the prime example. If I made $100,000 a year and my wife made $25,000 a year, it wouldn't make sense for me to say, "Hey, we're gonna split all these bills directly down the middle," because for her to pay 50% of our bills is going to be a financial burden because she don't make that much money. So a lot of times, what you see a lot of couples do is they just pay in proportion to what they actually make. Like, if I make 70% of the income and you make 30%, I'll pay 70% of the bills, you pay 30%, because it's a portion to what the couples make. But these comments really made me realize, I don't know how stupid people are. Nobody wants to work. And I mean, the comments was just so crazy. People talk about ending their relationships because once it said, "Oh, I was married and the finances weren't working out. We wanted to do 50-50 and we never had enough." And then once we broke up and got a divorce, he got a new apartment and a new car. Do you think y'all could have been living over y'all means? Or do you like, it's so many other things that could have been wrong in that particular instance, but it was so consistent throughout. And unfortunately, literally, like, most of the comments were, sisters, unfortunately, who had this broken ideology of I didn't sign up to pay 50-50 in any relationship. It's not an automatic when you enter into a relationship that you're automatically going to elevate into this upgraded economic status. That's just stupid and foolish if you actually believe that. If you look at the numbers, the normal everyday millionaire who's not a damn movie star or Dwayne Wade, they become a millionaire at the age of 49 or 50. The average age of someone who has a Corvette is not fucking Chris Brown, who's 27, 28 years old. The average age of somebody who got a Corvette or Ferrari is like 59. Like, it takes people time to develop into the provider that they can be or the provider that they're going to ultimately become. But it's like people aren't really interested in seeing the waiting game and working together to build something. I just made this comment today. I was like, yo, marriage marriage is about love, but it's about this small percent. Marriage is about building something and about does the other person do right by you. I don't necessarily define that as love because somebody could love you and not do right by you like hell. We've all seen that happen. That's but marriage is not like every time. Y'all think every time Mrs. DFD walk in the room, I get butterflies in my stomach and I'm like, oh man, look at you, boo. Hell no. Like, nah, that's a make-believe Disney stuff. It's impossible. That's not how it works. A healthy relationship is about understanding that, yo, we working to build something together and we're gonna do right by each other. Will Smith don't say a lot of things that I agree with because he kind of soft, but he did say something that I thought was interesting because I think it's just is irrational to just assume or want, yo, I want you to provide 80, 100% of the finances indefinitely for the rest of life. Life happens. Businesses are going to go under, things are going to happen, pandemics are going to occur. The slightest thing can occur that will dramatically change your financial situation. And I can only speak for the fellas. I don't know, ladies. Y'all let me know if it's something different. Yeah, y'all let me know if it's something different. But I heard Will Smith say this, and I was like, yo, this is really how men think, no matter what economic spectrum they're on. Men really have a fear of, damn, a big fear that men have is making a mistake, and the potential of that mistake is going to tear them apart from their family because that's just how society is set up. Like, okay, damn, I made a bad financial decision and we fell off from a top economic tier and now we on some lower middle class shit. But because I made that mistake, is the person I'm with going to ride with me to try to right this ship? And I mean, looking at those comments, like it was depressing actually. Like I literally looked at those comments and thought, like, damn, people don't even listen to the damn wedding vows. Like, for better or worse, what's up with the worst part? like nobody give a damn about. Like, the worst part is like it's some vows in it. It means like, yo, sometimes everything is not going to be great, but you got to stick it through. And one of the things that I always wanted to do was I wanted to get to a point where we are solely living off of one income. That means that my income is enough to take care of 100% of our expenses. So when the wifey get paid, she can do, we got so much flexibility to bank that, to invest that, to have fun with a big ass portion if we wanted to, because we could take our foot off the gas. And we are really close to hitting that. I'm talking about probably 18 to 24 months to being to the point where, okay, my income alone can satisfy all of our financial obligations. The only thing the wife will have to pay out of her income is, yo, do your retirement investments, all your investments on your end, and everything else we can figure out how we're going to capitalize on. But we didn't get there overnight. No, you know how we got there? We got there from both of us struggling, to me not having a job and her having a job, having to hold things down, to her not having a job and me having a job to hold things down, to her being a stay-at-home mom when I wasn't making that much money, but I made sacrifices to do what I needed to do. And the other thing that I find that is interesting, I think, is how, and this is just my observation from what I seen in the comments, and I was just going down this YouTube rabbit hole because amazingly there's a lot on this topic of how women don't want to pay 50-50 bills, which is interesting. But the other thing that I kind of thought about is like, okay, if a guy can pay 100% of the bills, but if him paying 100% of the bills doesn't allow you to live the lifestyle that you want, are you really wanting to make that sacrifice? Because I could tell y'all, like, yo, my wife was a stay-at-home mom when my son was born for, I don't know, 18 months. She did it for a while until she got tired of only having conversations with the baby. So she's like, nah, I got to do something else. I was like, you know what? Why don't you go back to school before you go postal and whip everybody ass in this household? But she was a stay-at-home mom for like 15, 18 months, something to that effect. But we actually had to make sacrifices. My wife liked to travel. You know what wasn't happening when she was a stay-at-home mom? We weren't traveling like that. You know why we couldn't travel? Because 100% of my resources were going to maintaining the household bill. So what did that mean? That means that our vacation consisted of, hey, everybody get your ass in the car. We're going to drive 2 hours to the mountains or 2 hours to the beach, and we're going to have a good time. But are people really willing to make that sacrifice? Okay, I want you to pay 100% of the bills, but if you paying 100% of the bills won't allow me to live the lifestyle I want, what's the point? Pay 100% of the bills, and I want to be able to go on 2 or 3 vacations and do all this extra stuff. Like, we talking about normal folks. We're not talking about no damn D Wade, no Gabrielle Union. That's not realistic for normal people. That's not realistic for normal household income, which is like 70 something $1,000 a year. So I feel like people, men, women, a lot of us need to pull our heads out of the clouds and realize, yo, if you find somebody out here in these streets, because most people ain't gonna have nobody to give a damn about them. I'm gonna just keep it real. Most people, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most people you meet in this life probably won't give a damn about you or a genuine damn about you. If you are fortunate enough to meet someone who you can have a relationship with, who is willing to build with you, willing to sacrifice with you, willing to do right with you. Damn all the butterflies in the stomach and the googly eye stuff. Like, yo, that's somebody that you probably want to hold on to because a person like that is not guaranteed. And when y'all build together, what happens? Y'all build together and you both get to reap the rewards. You know what I mean? You both get to reap the rewards. Everybody want their rewards early as hell, and that's just not how life works. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I want to be in my 20s or 30s and I want to just worry about this and not worry about nothing else. Nah, unfortunately, in your 20s or 30s, you're a normal person. Your job is to go out there and bust your ass. So when you're in your late 40s, 50s, you could ease up off the pedal and really enjoy life and really be to that point where I don't give a damn who pays the bills because we got a big ass tub of money over here where we can kind of move how we want to move. It's terrible. It's terrible, and it's sad as hell that this is our state. I wanted to play one real quick video I saw that kind of touched on this topic a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna play it. Actually, let me describe because if I play the video, YouTube will get a little funky. But as I was going down this rabbit hole doing this search, lo and behold, what came up? It was a video that Kevin Samuels had where he was talking to a woman who was married, who had a 9-year-old and a 12-year. No, she was divorced. She had a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. And so she called into the show, and her question was, should she wait until her kids are grown before she starts dating? She was 40 years old. So if her youngest was 9, you talk about she could be 49 or 50 before she starts dating again. Her and her husband was divorced. She said her ex-husband comes over every other day to either take the kids or spend time with the kids. She said the guys, she gave no indication of the guy being a bad father, abusive, a cheater, none of those things. So his natural question, which anybody would ask, is, well, why'd you get a divorce? And she said it was because of money, because he couldn't keep a job, right? She said, we got foreclosed on, we went through bankruptcy, and he just couldn't keep a job consistently, was what she said. So she was like, so we ended up getting a divorce. And I thought his point was fair. And I know every woman or person, some men may not agree with me, but I thought his point was very fair. And you can tell, I actually linked that in the description box because it was actually a good listen. But you can tell as he asked her questions, the gears were turning in her head as if she was having a moral conflict with the decision that she made to divorce her husband. And he said to her, he said, so your husband wasn't abusive. He didn't cheat on you. He didn't cheat on you. He didn't disrespect you. He just couldn't keep a job. You all got foreclosed on and you had to file bankruptcy. Since you got a divorce, have you been foreclosed on or had to file bankruptcy? And she said no. And he said, so was it possible that y'all were just living outside of y'all means and y'all could have actually figured it out instead of getting a divorce? And then her initial response was, before she even answered the question, her response was, I take care of some kids, but I'm not taking care of a man who's not working. He said, so his response, which made sense. You said that y'all been divorced for 4 or 5 years. He comes over every day to either take the kids or spend time with the kids. The kids stay the night over his house. He's not coming over there taking the kids so that they can stay in the box of his car. So he clearly has some means to be able to do something. So are you working right now that you're single? Are you working equally as hard or more hard than you were when your child's father was in the house? And she was like, I'm working equally as hard. He said, and the other question I had was, were your daughters more happy when he was in the house? And her response was, my daughters are always happy. So he followed up, what she should have, great question asking, and said, no, that was a disingenuous response. I'm asking you, was your daughters happy, more happy when their father was in the house? And so she said yes. So but you can hear from the line of questioning as she was thinking about it, like she was having that what if moment, like, damn, did I abandon things too fast? And I'm saying financial stuff can be an issue. Don't get me wrong, financial stuff can be an issue, but everybody's going to fall on hard times, and being punished for making a mistake or having a financial hardship, something that shit could take time, pardon my language, but that it could take time to get out of it. I've been fortunate where one, I'm kind of I've been fortunate to, when I've dealt with job loss, I've been able to turn around and pick up a job relatively quickly, but that's not guaranteed. How much confidence would I have if I came home or I lost a job or I was at risk of losing a job, thinking that I won't have the support of the person who's there? I don't give a damn if I was paying 100% of the bills. If I lose the job, I got confidence in knowing that no matter what happens to me, I got somebody who will do whatever the hell they need to do to hold down the fort so that we can get the water out of this sinking ship and plug the hole and get back afloat. But people don't want to roll up their sleeves and dump a little bit of water out of a damn sinking ship. The ship a lot of times don't have to sink, but people have to make an effort to do whatever they can do to save a situation when it comes to relationships. And it's just so terrible that we let finances ruin a lot of relationships and that we put so much damn value on the finances. Like, oh man, his money wasn't straight or his money wasn't right. Well, like, is he a good person? Is he a good father? When he is working or when he does have a job, even if he doesn't make a lot of money, what is he doing with that money? He's providing for the family. This sounds like something that happens to every guy. We fall on hard times. Everybody's going to fall on hard times. And, the what is the old saying goes? Behind every powerful man is a strong woman because the woman is the backbone, the support. Like, yo, how the hell you gonna have if the woman is the backbone and the support, and you not holding up your end of the bargain, you're gonna have a bunch of jellyfish back ass dudes. It's gonna be a bunch of jellyfish back ass dudes because you have to hold up your part, and vice versa. If my wife fell on hard times or lost her job, you think I would be like, oh nah, she lost her job, or oh nope, hey my I understand that, yeah, I understand that you bore my kids and everything, but I always preferred you when you was a size 4. I don't know about this size 6. Let me roll out. Man, shut the hell up. That's goofy. Anybody who thinks like that from male or female side is goofy. And if you think like that, I'ma just keep it a buck. If you're so if you're willing to trade companionship for such a high stake in what you think is in economics. And I'm not saying the economics of it are wrong. All I'm saying is people have to grow into what they want to become. And I hear it all the time. Oh, I like to travel. I like to do this. And if you make this much money, you can't afford to travel with me. Well, people are making assumptions like, yo, my wife likes to travel. I don't go everywhere with her because I don't want to go everywhere with her. That's goofy. One, I'm not a book bag that's stuck to the back of my damn wife like I gotta go everywhere with her. That's point number one. And point number two, I honestly don't want to go. I want you to go somewhere. Go somewhere with your friends or by yourself and have fun. And I want to sit here and be left alone to my own devices. But people put so much emphasis on travel and lifestyle. Somebody who makes this much can't accompany me on all the stuff I want to do. You make an assumption that whoever you with want to do all that stuff in the first place. Somebody who makes 5 times more than what a woman who values travel or a certain lifestyle make, he ain't gonna want to do all that stuff with you. You know why? Because he got shit to do. You think he made 2 or 3 times more than you by just sitting around, going around traveling? Like it would just be crazy. It would just be crazy that we put these expectations on each other, and men put unreasonable expectations on women's based on what societal norms are. And we got to realize societal norms are jacked up. What society calls beauty, what society calls providing, all of that stuff is jacked up. We have to make our own definitions of what we value and make reasonable decisions and rational decisions on how much value and emphasis are we going to put on a person's intangible qualities, the type of person they are, versus what they have. Because the shit that they have, yo, that stuff could be gone so fast. And the way that it's looking like, and guys do it too. It's not. I don't think it's a thing as common, but there's some goofy ass guys out there who like, oh, this woman got that or this, and like, oh, that's goofy behavior. We gotta think different and move different and understand that the best way to get to the finish line or reach a goal is to have some help. Nobody ever did like y'all think Jordan was winning championships on his own? Nah, he had a team around him. You got to have a team around you of people you can trust and people who like, damn, we down by 30 points. It ain't no need of plan. Nah, I don't want no damn quitters. When we down by 30 points, I need somebody to be like, look, yo, we down by 30 points. But tighten up. You play some defense. I'm going to play some defense. We're going to get a couple turnovers. We're going to score some buckets. We're going to hit some threes. We could pull this out if you in it and you grinding for it. You ready to grind? That's the type of person you're going to be like, hell yeah, let's do it. That's the type of person who has a mentality, who can motivate someone to break through the glass ceiling of what they think that their maximum capacity or goals they can reach in life. Like when you got somebody like that who motivates you, that's the type of thing that pushes you to drive to do things that are beyond your wildest thoughts or potentially beyond your spouse's wildest thoughts. But nobody want to be there for the build up. Everybody want to get Bill Gates after he was Bill Gates. Nobody wanted him when he was the broke ass dude in his garage with a big goofy ass computer and some thick ass glasses. It's crazy. Yo, I'm gonna link these two videos in the comments though. I'm gonna link both of these videos in the description box because I don't know. The one by the sister was this video wasn't that bad. This guy actually made sense. In his video, I give him credit. He wasn't a simp, but he was speaking from a point of like, you know what he said was fair. This channel, ladies, watch this shit at your own peril. Like if you watch this, don't doubt. This is definitely a red table talk channel, woman wear your crown type of channel, which is crazy because I even looked at the about and I was like, wow, is she married? I was like, she might be capping for the culture. Like how Beyonce and Sierra make all these songs about independent women and kicking men out, but they in happy homes and they work through their problems with their spouses. So this might be one of those channels, but it was an interesting video to look at. So I'm definitely going to link both of these videos in the description box. The moral of this story and the takeaway is, yo, let's stop being goofy out there. Let's stop having a goofy culture, especially, hey, come on, hey, for my sisters, brothers, we got to think different. We got to move different. We got to understand that there is some value in having everyone in a household, and stuff is not going to always go the way that you plan. And again, I'm not saying stay in some crazy ass situation like abuse and all of that stuff. Like, no, there are legitimate reasons to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. So DFD is not saying that. I'm just saying that if economics and finances is a part of the relationship that's a problem, really stand back and take an objective look at all the other qualities that person brings. If you wearing the scale and they have all these other qualities, but the quality over here is, oh man, we fell on hard times. And especially if that person had a consistent pattern of, like, if I lost my job and was out of a job for 2 years, like, yo, I can't get 2 years of a mistake that I got to work from, considering that I've been trying to hold it down and holding it down for what, damn 16, 17 years. Like, god damn, give people grace. Men, women, you got to give some people grace. Allow them to mess up without fearing that they could lose everything because the person who's supposed to ride for them jumped off the goddamn boat too fast. They jump off the boat mad fast, and then you get the boat together and you just sail right by their ass. It could get kind of crazy, but yo, that's all I wanted to talk about on this video. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comments. I was very impressed with the poll that I put up. I put up a poll and I was very impressed. Now, again, some people could be capping, but I was very impressed with the results of the poll that I put up that kind of related to this question. Let me just go ahead and see what is at real quick before I bow out. All right, let's see. Let's take a look and see what this poll is at real quick. Okay, all right. So far, so good. Only 135 votes, so we got to give it a little bit. We got to give it a little bit more time to get a little bit of a larger sample size. But so far, I think there's only really two good answers here. For me, is clearly 77% says cool as long as the couples agree to it. Right? Do whatever the hell you want to do as long as y'all agree to it and it works for y'all. I think that's the answer. And I think the other answer that is cool and is 50-50 could be unfair if one person's income is way high. Now, it's 3% on the bottom that say a man should pay 70% or more of the bills if he a provider. I'm going to just go ahead and I don't know who that 3% is, but that's giving off goofy vibes. That's giving off goofy vibes to me. A man should pay 70% or more of the bills if he's a provider. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Some people are just, it is what it is. I would love if YouTube allow you to give a poll question, but ask multiple parts in the poll so you can get an answer. Like, I would like to see what the breakdown would be of some questions like this of men versus women or couples who are married versus couples who are just in relationships. Because then you got different rules. In a relationship, I mean, hell, y'all are roommates. So, hey, 50-50, ain't nobody going to argue with that. From a legal standpoint, that's how y'all should divide it up. But it could be some gray areas depending on the dynamics. But when we're talking about just people who are married, all that 70, a man is responsible for 70% and 30%. Like, okay, can he, like, what if he start out 50-50? Can he work his way up? Damn. I know I can't even remember. I'm trying to think. 25. I don't know what the hell I made when I was 25, but I know it wasn't a lot of money. All I remember is when I was 25 and I was newly married, I want to say I might have had on some tight ass khakis, and I think I was actually doing security. Oh no, I know what it was. Okay, yeah, I was wearing some tight ass khakis, and I was top flight security at night. Then in the daytime, I was working with a group in a group home, with children in a group home. So hey, and that's what it was. And I can remember years later, I used to be like, I remember telling my wife, I was like, man, I used to hate leaving out of the house wearing them tight ass khakis. I used to hate leaving out of the house. And I was like, man, y'all can't give me no like khakis that at least fit me comfortably. Like I used to leave. I used to wait out, hate wearing that tight ass security guard outfit. And she had me rolling. She was like, yeah, I couldn't laugh then, but it used to look ridiculous in that top flight security outfit. But I was like, at 25, it was no expectation for me to pay all of the bills. It was just unrealistic. I couldn't do that at 30. I couldn't pay all of the bills or 100% of the bills. Well, I were able to pay 100% of the bills, but that wasn't a life that would have been sustainable for her. Hey, I pay 100% of the bills, and that's just enough to do the bare minimum of everything we need. So we ain't got money to do shit ever. Like, no, nobody's gonna want to do that. That's completely unsustainable. So, y'all gotta work as a team out there if you're in a relationship. That's the best way to get it done. And then, as time goes on, you work up, you get access, and you can sit back and be like, yo, you know something? We used to be broke as hell back in the day, but we kind of did all right for ourselves. And that's a part of it. The best part of the journey is seeing where you came from, just jumping in it and automatically like, okay, I got a guy who pays 70%. Cause like, hey, I jumped in and I ain't have to come here for the come up. I found a guy who could pay 70%. Y'all say that. I know guys who've been making $180,000 since they were 23, 24, and they've been in the game 15, 16 years. They making $250,000 a year. You know how much they work? You know how much they aren't there? Like, y'all be like, oh, I would love for a guy to take care of 100% of everything. That's a whole different life that if a lot of people had it, if a lot of women were in that position, they probably wouldn't like it. Trust me, I know. I know men who work all the time and they provide all the time. And I know women who are married to men like that. And I hear it all the time. Like, yeah, it's just like the bills keep going, but I have to do absolutely 100% of everything. Like, okay, you're gonna trade that 100% for something. You're gonna trade that 70% for something. You know what I mean? So you just gotta make up your mind. Okay, is this 70% of the finances worth me? He's probably gonna be out the house a lot if he paying 70% of the bills. Is that worth me doing 70% of everything else? A lot of y'all won't be built for that. Two kids, a kid crying, getting them to different places, picking them up, making the snacks, being the soccer mom, being the school mom. Man, that shit would drive y'all crazy if you had to do 100% of that while somebody else worked. I wouldn't want to do that. And trust me, I would love if my wife paid 100% of the bills like now because the kids are older, so they kind of on autopilot. But when they was young, oh, hell no. Nah. I would have been exactly one of the women who I think are being unreasonable. I would be like, hey, my wife, I'm a stay-at-home dad, but I got to change all these diapers and do all of this stuff around the house and cook and clean. Like, people are going to always find something to complain about. So it is what it is. Yo, let's not be goofy. Build together. That's the best way to do it. I'm out for this video. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Hey, D Wade and Gabby Union aren't regular people. They aren't ordinary people like us. So let's not worry about what the hell they doing and make sure we doing what we can to make sure our situation tight. Y'all take care. Be safe. Peace.